All right, guys, today is Wednesday, the 7th, 2021 of April. I got 21 days left to finish my car. I did not post a video yesterday because let's just say I was a little on the pissed off side. Maybe even mega pissed off. So, painted the back side of my deck lid, and there is a billion particles of trash in this deck lid. It's almost like I didn't wipe anything down with a tack rag or did any prep work or anything. It is terrible. So what I noticed yesterday, see if I can get this in an angle here so you can see. Try to get the light off the paint right there. See all that specks of shit? So yesterday, when I was wiping this deck lid down with wax and grease remover on a rag, I could feel the deck lid charged with static. The arm hair was moving on my arm. I could feel it. And even standing back, you could kind of feel it, like just static charge. So I moved the deck lid over close to the door, and I took jumper cables and I hooked to the trunk lock on the trunk lid, hooked the other end outside of my door to the steel stake that's going in the ground for my carport. So that is a earth ground, I would think, going directly to that part. So I come back over here and wave my arm over it, and it still was moving the hair on my arm. So I come in here and I wet down the whole floor with my hose. And I mean, I have never wetted the floor like I wetted yesterday. I soaked it. When I walked in here, it was splashing. That's how deep it was. I, at that point, took my shoes and socks off, rolled up my pant legs, and I walked around in here barefoot, and you could still feel a charge on that. So I don't have any idea. I tried those static-free wipers from DeVilbiss, and didn't cut it. It didn't take it off. So I was like, well, it won't be so bad. Nope, it's bad. So now I get to sand the deck lid down, and you know, it took me a few hours to sand it yesterday, so now I get to spend a few more hours on it again. Ain't nothing like taking one step forward and 20 steps back, but I've been doing this lately with this static charge problem I have here. The only thing that has been changed from all the cars and the parts and the motorcycles and all the crap that I've painted here before, and I have never had this done before. This has never happened to me before. And I'm not working on plastic cars. This is a 50s car. It's all steel parts. The only thing that has been changed in this garage recently is put in a gas furnace over here. It's the only thing that's been put in. And I ended up putting up a couple more lights, but I think those have been in there for a while. You know, there at first I just put 2 LED shop lights in and replaced 2 of my fluorescents. And then I put 2 more in here. I mean, that is really the only thing that has changed. So it makes me think it's seasonal. You know, when you read around online, you find out that wintertime and fall is like the worst for static electricity. Like when you walk in your house and you shock the crap out of yourself, which I was shocking stuff out here, touching stuff. So anyway, I've tried quite a few things, and it just didn't work. The parts are static charging. And I even had my wife confirm it yesterday when she came in from work. I had her pick up a garnish molding right out of the house, out of our spare bedroom. And I had her wave her arm in front of it, and it was charged. She said, yeah, I can feel it on my arm. So for some reason, these parts are static charged. So what I did this morning while eating breakfast, I got on YouTube, which I normally do when I eat breakfast in the morning. I usually sit at the computer about probably a good hour and keep up with everybody else that's building cars in their garage and that type of stuff. But anyway, I typed in how to eliminate static electricity. And of course, a lot of videos popped up, but this one come up and it said DIY static eliminator or something like that. And it was a 2-minute and something long video. And I'm like, I'll check that one out. So I click on it. And basically the guy took 2 of these resistors. I don't know anything about resistors. I'll tell you that right now. I know nothing about them. But in his YouTube description, typed in at the bottom, it told what these were, which they were, I don't remember now. Anyway, these are million something. So I went down here to Radio Shack and I got a 4-pack of them for $3. So this guy took 2 of them, and he's tied one end to the other, so it was a longer unit. He just basically twisty tied them together like you'd do a bread tie on a loaf of bread. He cut a straw down, and he had the wire sticking out of the straw just a little bit, and he put 2 screws in each end, and it's basically your metal contact on your ends of your wires. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Yeah, there's the wire sticking up right there. And then on this end, right there. So anyway, those are tied together, 2 resistors inside there, and the wires are hanging out a little bit, and I put 2 bolts in there. So what I did, he was actually showing how it worked, and he was using pieces of toilet paper and had this machine that he spun this lever, and you could see the toilet paper like charge out. And he touched his tool to it, and the toilet paper let go. So what I did was I came out here with a microfiber, and I shot some wax and grease remover on it. And I started wiping it, and like the first wipe, I could already feel the static charge on that metal part. So I grabbed my toilet paper piece, and I was holding it up there. I can't even pick that up. I was holding that up there, and it was drawing it to it. And I took my little homemade rig there, and I touched it to it, and it wouldn't grab the toilet paper anymore. So what's up with that? So anyway, I just wiped it down again because I was going to show you guys this. I just wiped the part down again with that same rag, and I can't get it to static charge now. So what the hell's going on? I am not a scientist or none of that crap. I mean, hell, I can barely navigate on a computer, man, let alone this type of stuff. But I do not understand that. But it cost me $3 this morning to build this. And it cost me, up to now, probably about $200 in paint supplies so far, because of all the trim I have to repaint for trash in it, redoing the deck lid. I wasted probably a half a pot of paint, so threw it out last night. So nothing like making 1 step forward and 20 steps backwards, you know what I mean? But I gotta say, I am pretty damned impressed. That video is pretty freaking awesome, man. I don't know how long this lasts because I don't know nothing about resistors, but the guy at Radio Shack was not impressed. I was describing it to him, and I think I blew his mind. But anyway, he told me, he goes, you need to ground your part to the earth. And I said, I did that. It didn't break it. It's like when I first start out here, I don't notice the parts really having a charge. It's only until, you know, maybe when I touch the part or I start wiping the part that you can feel it. Like your arm hair moves when you're wiping the part. And that deck lid was the worst because, I guess because it's curved like that, you could really feel it. Like you could tell there was static electricity coming off of that thing. So, of course, when I painted it, everything was just drawn right to it. So when you try to tack rag something off, it doesn't really, it just moves stuff around. It doesn't really, you know, remove it because of that static charge. So, well, I tell you, it's a new one on me. I have never had to do this in my life. I've never even had this problem. So I even called a buddy of mine yesterday that owns a collision repair shop that I used to work at. And he was telling me that water is about the only thing to get rid of it. But I really don't understand. You spray water on the part, you still got to wipe it off to dry it. And when I wipe it is what charges it. So I didn't really understand. So it's one of those deals where you just nod your head and agree and you really don't understand because that's what I did. But anyway, a straw from Sonic. 2 bolts and 2 resistors. It cost me $3, and I just busted the static charge's ass on that part. Go figure. Anyway, guys, I'm a little bit more uplifted now. I went down this morning, bought me a new paint suit. I'm gonna give that a go. So, anyway, I guess that's your update. Yay, science. Thanks for watching.